official, spring is here, and we've got a lot to catch you up on this edition of Lake Area Beat. I'm Joel Schmidt.
I'm Tracy Minarchek. Welcome to Lake Area Beat.
Welcome back.
Thank you. I've been gone for a while. I was injured in training back in August of last year, so out for 5 months. I've been back for 3. Thanks for having me back.
It's certainly good to have you back.
But I came back and you're not Kurt anymore.
I'm not.
Kurt left to go somewhere else, and so you've taken his place.
I did. Yeah, it's not too bad.
So we can expect to see you all the time now with
All
me?
the time is a permanent thing. Now that we're caught up on the show, let's catch you up on all the other events happening in our community.
As we continue our officer profile series, we bring you a veteran officer story. On his way home from work several years ago, he witnessed an event that changed not only his career, but his perspective on life.
He gets candid about his experience. Here's his story.
He went over that barrier. The car must have rolled over the top of it somehow. I didn't even see it. It was just such a violent explosion of debris. And I ran down there. I jumped up on the hood, promptly cut my hand open on the glass. There was no windshield. And I just tried to render aid as best I could. And there was really nothing I could do. I've seen enough, unfortunately, dead and dying people to know that this was critical. I couldn't save this person. I didn't have the equipment. You're holding somebody's head and they're dying in your hands, and you're looking at this person like, well, this is really unfair. I've seen over the course of my almost 11 years here a slow but definitely distinct change in the way that we are policing a little bit, but also the support that we're now giving officers that perhaps wasn't there before to the same degree. Whether you need to use it or not, you need to go talk to somebody, at least have that opportunity, because it's so important. It's so vital. You go for annual checkups or what have you from a physician. This is no different. And I think that recognition of the trauma, the burnout, working nights is really stressful and exhausting and life-changing health-wise for a lot of people. And doing more to accommodate that now that when I first started wasn't there. There's no better feeling. I love the feeling of like a busy summer, you're chasing the radio around, you're going from call to call, you've got your tunes playing on the radio, waiting for the next piece of action. If I was a young person in my mid-20s doing that kind of stuff, old enough to know what I'm doing, but young enough to feel my soul, quote a Lenny Kravitz line, that would be, it's so much fun. It's so exciting. White Bear is a fairly safe community. I mean, it's one of the things I like about working here is that generally, we have some excitement from time to time, but we're not discharging our firearms or getting into shootouts or having to pull our firearm and point it at people every single day. But any naivety we had about the dangers of the job have been negated 2 summers ago, where one of our officers was actually shot at, pursuing somebody, helping a state trooper who was also being shot at. And then, of course, Officer Sheik's shooting just over a year ago now. And as a result of that, not that it wasn't there before, I think community support has been tremendous. 100% the city managers here, both the city manager Lindy Crawford and Rick Juba, the assistant city manager, tremendously supportive of the job. Naturally, our current chief and captain, Phil Henry. We do need people. I mean, the reality is that we need people that service the community and keep the community safe. I was really excited about the prospect. It was a career change for me, and almost my middle age. So I guess it was my early midlife crisis. But yeah, I never expected to do all the things that I've done, even in a small department. You want a dynamic career that isn't restricted to a more linear path. You're going from all these different calls, you get all these different experiences, and there's so much learning that you're going to get from this. This is a really, really fun career. It's a dynamic, very dynamic job, and that's one of the things that I really enjoy about it.
So Joel, I see the fire department is hiring.
We are, yeah. We're looking for one firefighter paramedic. So yeah.
Just one?
Just one for now.
For now.
Yep. So it's it's an interesting time seeing people come and go, which is unfortunate, but it's the industry nowadays. So
Yep.
yeah.
We are also hiring, so keep your eyes peeled on the
Yes.
city's web pages.
Absolutely.
Right? Facebook too. White Bear Lake is the sort of community that attracts people both personally and professionally, and they end up staying.
Former council member Dan Jones, who is currently the Historical Society's creative director, is no exception.
He was born and raised in White Bear Lake. His family was very involved in the community growing up, and it ignited a passion to serve. And that he did. Take a look.
When I'd get home from city council anywhere from 8:30 to 11:30, I have to take out the garbage. And it's like, for once, I'm like, nope, I don't have to do that.
For 16 years,
It's been nice to have some time back.
White Bear Lake native Dan Jones has sat at the White Bear Lake dais, standing firm on his beliefs.
You ask me my opinion, I will tell it. Even if you don't ask me, I might tell it.
He says there were plenty of disagreements along the way.
I mean, Bill Walsh is a person that we probably disagreed more than we agreed.
But always respect.
And yet I will come back to Bill Walsh and call him my friend, because again, I always knew where he stood. He spoke his mind. You knew he was, and you knew why.
With 2 meetings a month, as well as workshops and service on other boards,
But my problem with this to the council is that this was a hot mess.
Jones has dedicated countless hours to the council and acknowledged time away from family as he attended his last meeting.
When I was first elected, you were 8 to 10 and 12. The formative teenager years, the terrifying years.
His wife Sally, his mother Jane, and his 3 daughters, Kayla, Emma, and Sam, reacting to his emotional farewell.
And you knew what I was doing was important. Thank you for that understanding. It meant more to me than you'll ever know, and I love you so much that it hurts.
He looks like a really tough guy, but he's got such a sweet heart. It's like you would never know by looking at him.
Yeah, sorry we didn't make it to more meetings, Dad. Just the first and the last and maybe a few in between, but we're doing the best we can.
He's never missed any
Yeah,
of
I
my
don't
events.
remember him missing anything. When he said that, I was shocked.
I
I
only
don't
remember as him being on the phone a lot with Brian. I feel like I gotta call Brian.
Brian and I were elected the same year. Didn't know each other from Adam. But strangely, we became fast friends and kind of like the odd couple, really.
We had so many conversations over that period because there was some big issues back then. We had the YMCA expansion. The Boat Works was a big project for us. I know he's going to do well. He's outgoing. He's ambitious. I wish him the best luck at the Historical Society, and he's going to do well. I know he is.
For those who know Jones, they know his heart is as great as his height.
I'm a 300-pound man puddle.
And though he seems tailor-made for the role of Santa,
Who's eating Santa's cookies? I'm sharing them.
his emotional side can seem incongruent to his stature.
And sincerely, and I mean this, an honor and a pleasure to represent the city of White Bear Lake.
His love for his community rivaled only by the love for his family.
So I'm going to try to keep it in check.
Those two loves united in the most intimate way when his daughter Kayla was hit by a truck and critically injured in 2016.
We're lucky to have her, and that's thanks to the community.
Jones saw countless projects fulfilled during his tenure.
I wanted to make sure that the new public safety building got done, and I wanted to make sure that South Shore Boulevard got done.
Noting the job wasn't always fun.
I have to vote when the person has come up and I'm saying, I'm gonna take your house. That happened 3 times. And I have to look at them and go, no, I disagree with you. And they're there talking right in front of you. How many times does that happen at the state and federal level? It's difficult.
He was known for being firm but fair, a combination not lost upon his colleagues.
You've always been fair with people. You've been direct and sometimes blunt, but you will own the blunt. When you've been blunt, you own it.
Many past and present city staff and officials attending his last meeting.
This is what's special about the councils that I've been on. And we've got ex-staff, new council members, old council members, 3 city managers, 3 ex-mayors. I mean, these people have what made our city what it is for almost 40 years.
Jones may be gone from council, but will remain present in the community.
Santa's here, we're gonna read some books.
Working for the Historical Society and leaving his door open to advising future generations interested in serving.
You have to know who came before you. You have to respect the people that are gonna come after you because it's their turn. It's time for me to help in the community, but it's not my job to make those decisions. We need more people to get involved at every level.
Ms. West, congratulations. That seat up there is all yours now. Take care of it, and thank you for your service. And now, council, for the first time, I get to go home and eat cake.
I'm sure that's not the last we'll see of him. We wish him the best.
Yes. This edition of Lake Area Beat is all about recognizing the people who have and continue to make a difference in our community. The individual in our next story is all about community promotion.
Welcome to White Bear Country Inn. It's wonderful having you here today.
Bill has so much energy and passion. I mean, it takes probably a team of 20 of us to keep up with him.
We have an incredible family team here.
I started working with tourism probably 17, 18 years ago when I met Bill Foussard. I was working on Market Fest at the time, and he was a board member, and he had a vision for tourism in downtown White Bear Lake.
It's a team effort to get the word out what a cool town White Bear Lake is.
Bill is the one who brought the Governor's Fishing Opener to White Bear Lake. He applied, he dressed up as a fish, he went and stalked Governor Pawlenty, and then eventually the fishing opener came to White Bear.
I borrowed I thought it was going to be a walleye costume. It turned out being a carp.
We work with Explore Minnesota on different projects. We have been the recipient of several Explore Minnesota grants for tourism, especially during the pandemic. It was their choice to recognize him as the tourism industry leader for this year.
Please join us in congratulating a truly outstanding community advocate, Minnesota's tourism industry leader, Bill Foussard.
Well, I thought, oh my God, this sounds like somebody I know. And you know, the next thing they said my name and stuff, and it was so kind. You know, we work with so many different people doing different things. It's not one, it's all of us working together to get it done.
Thank you. I'm really honored. I love tourism and hospitality, but I gotta tell you, in White Bear Lake, it is such a fun family team.
I'm just so proud of Bill and all the work he does behind the scenes. People know when they see him, you know, all the things that is in front of the community, but there's a lot of work behind the scenes that he also does, and we are just so fortunate to have him in our community.
Congratulations to Bill Foussard. Before we go, we have a lot of events coming up in the spring and summer. Touch a Truck is next month on Thursday, May 9th in Podvin Park.
Yes, and Podvin Park, we will be there. There'll be some fire engines.
We will. We'll have our ladder truck and an ambulance for all the kids to come and see.
And I think you guys hand out stuff, little hats?
We do have little fire hats and stickers for kids. Yep.
They get to climb in the fire engine and the ambulance and all that.
Yep.
We'll have some vehicles there too. I don't know what, but
It'll be fun.
It'll be fun.
Yep. It's always a well-attended event.
It's always very well attended, so make sure to come out and say hello to your officers and firefighters. That wraps up this edition of Lake Area Beat. I'm Tracy Minarchek.
I'm Joel Schmidt. Thanks for watching. It's official, spring is here, and we've got a lot to catch up. God, see, I like literally first. Yeah, God. Thanks a lot, Tracy.
Sorry.
I'm just kidding. All right.
All those times.
Yeah.
You'd honk at us when you drove by.
I know. I'd always make fun of
Stand
you
in the
guys.
background and laugh.
That is true. No, it's payback, right? Karma.
I
It's
remember
karma.
those times.
2-1. I'm sure it's not the last we'll see of him.
I'm sure. We see him everywhere, right?
Yes, no.
He wants to do it again.
Sorry, I stumbled over my words. You don't have to start over. I know what the words are, but I just can't get them out. Yeah.
So you told me that you've done this perfectly.
I know.
Before I was here?
There was a couple. Yeah.
Perfect?
No, it
No
wasn't
mistakes?
perfect,
Okay.
but